out of control, they're going to be playing on that Invoker. Now, I quite like Invoker picks, and I think Invoker will actually work out very well here in this lineup. The one thing that Hurtsville don't really have is a lot of lockdown. Luna's basically their only stun, and then Clockwork, sort of. But picking up an Invoker is really going to help them in those team fights, help with the lockdown. You know, you've got your Deafening Blast, you've got your Tornado, EMP, stuff like that, which can really help out in those team fights, which it's going to be really hard for Defenstrative Apocolypse to jump in on because of this tanky lineup from Hurtsville.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's introduce the teams. On the side of Hurtsville Hoodrats, we do have their captain Illmatic on the Treant Protector. We've got Aquino on the Viper. Catch Me If You Can is playing the Dazzle. We've got Faker on Clockwork, and Enjoy is on the Luna.
And over on the side of DA, we do have Out of Control will be running on the Invoker, Exodius on the Timbersaw, Sydney will be picking up that Visage, you got Burner on the Gyrocopter, and finally, coming up the rear is Anchromatic on the Rubik.
Yeah, and these guys have just grouped up as 5 at the moment. Looks like they might want to try to see if they can find a pick-off, and with a Treant Protector there, the Living Armor, even if there is 5 of them, they might be able to survive, especially if there's a Shallow Grave that gets popped up by Dazzle. But we'll see what happens.
30 seconds to battle.
They're not going to have vision. They're not going to have vision. There we go. They've spotted each other with that Dayline. They're going to walk in and Hurtsville, they're going to be able to get on out of there. They're not too worried. A little bit of a misplay there for Rubik to show himself so quick. It would have been great if he hid behind the trees and then waited for a hero to appear, because they were coming in aggressive and they could have easily been a victim of the first blood.
Yeah, I do agree there. And this will be an aggressive tri-lane here coming out from Defenstrative Apocolypse, so it's going to be aggressive versus very defensive here in this bottom lane. In the top lane though, we will have just offlane versus offlane. These guys are just going to be happy to get their experience and their farm. And in the mid lane, we should see quite a lot of action between this Invoker and this Viper.
We even had some drone on the map previously from, I believe it was the Visage, saying that they possibly might want to go in deep on this tower early on. I don't know. They were just drawing a little bit on the map for those of you who can't see, which are the spectators. They could have been wanting to go on in there, and they might be looking for aggression. So an aggression down the bottom lane. I would personally give it to Hurtsville because they do have the defensiveness of the extra armor and the heals coming out by Dazzle. But that doesn't say that Gyrocopter with his Rocket Barrage could kill someone before either of the two supports can react to help him out.
Yeah, the Rocket Barrage is certainly going to help get rid of those stacks of the Living Armor as well quite quickly, which will allow them to follow up with a nice Visage Soul Assumption, for example. But we'll see exactly how it goes. I mean, Luna very fragile early on in the game, so is Dazzle, only sitting at 454 health. Treant Protector's probably not going to get targeted for a while just because he's quite bulky. But yeah, we already see a little bit of moving around here from Anachromatic. Looks like he wants to do some dewarding.
And speaking of the sentry wards, Hurtsville, they came down, they threw down one, and they threw down a second one down here. Unfortunately for them, they miss all, both the observers, I believe. Actually, no, yeah, they're still...
Correct.
Yeah, which is a little bit unfortunate because there will be that camp being blocked. They still get vision of that rune, and the Rubik almost throws him up on the cliff. That could have hurt, but they do have... He did have enough to buy TP, but would have been a while for that crew to be upgraded.
That's not right.
Yeah, you can still get it up there. There's like a certain spot where you can put it and you can pick it up even if you don't have the flying career. But yeah, that would have still been very annoying for that Treant.
We have Rubik just rotating around, looking around where he's going to go. He still hasn't spotted out, unfortunately, that the Observer ward's up here. He can't walk up the cliff because they do see the rotation in from the other two supports just pushing him back out of the lane. And they just consistently watch them rotating back and forth. So now they've seen them rotate back to the lane. They're going to smoke up. They're going underneath the Observer ward, so they're going to catch mid lane off guard. And we could potentially see our first blood come against Aquino very shortly. And here we go. Anchromatic, he comes in, smokes down. Aquino, he's getting aggressive, in control, out of control as well. He gets lifted up. He's going to throw back down. Grave Chill comes out. Do they have enough damage? Will he be able to get a turnaround kill? He falls down. Will Rook be able to survive? He does survive. The auto attacks from the tower also does not take down Sydney. So very good first blood rotation coming out from DA.
Yeah, that's really important. Shutting down that Viper, who's actually staying for 11 for free compared to Invoker 8 for 1. Already that Viper was starting to get a nice, little bit of an early advantage against the Invoker. So that very early first blood, that nice kill there certainly helps out the mid lane. Um, okay, and I gotta say, currently Gyrocopter and Luna, they're both just basically sitting for even in terms of last hits. So doing that rotation around doesn't hurt the Gyrocopter at all.
And speaking 1-for-1, Clockwork and Timbersaw, they're going for 1-for-1 up top lane at the moment. I mean, 16-16 apiece, 2 denies, 1 deny going to Timbersaw. So they're having a pretty fun time. Generally, you don't get this much farm when you're in that off lane, but these two are happily just getting the farm. I don't even think they're harassing each other too much, and I don't think they would do too much anyway if they were harassing. So they're having a little bit of fun. Both heroes will be extremely effective, but I think the Clockwork, once he hits level 6, see him rotate out of the lane and come and help mid lane out. Especially now that the Viper has died, it's very important for the rotation from Clockwork once he hits level 6 to help out Aquino.
Yeah, definitely agree. You know, as you were saying, this.
And actually, a little bit of action down the bottom lane. Enjoys an auto charm. He gets healed up, but will be enough. He gets Shadowgrave. He needs to turn around and run, but he's going aggressive. Shadowgrave's now off. Will they get a final auto attack? They do, and it will go to the Rubik. He stayed around for way too long there, and he does pay for it.
That was. I'm not sure why he didn't start backing off the moment that Shadowgrave was popped. I can understand him trying to get a little bit extra damage in, but it wasn't like he was going to kill any of them. In that rate, you know, your supports had already started to back off, start to try to get you out of there, so you should have just left. And unfortunately, that is quite an important kill. It does set the Luna back a little bit, and that Gyro is going to be very happy with that.
And now Hurtsville, they're sitting on 2 of their carries, both taking an early death in this game. I mean, you have your Viper, he's going down, Luna's going down. Well, your next plausible could be this Clockwork, which I don't think it will be, but Clockwork, he needs to rotate. He's level 6, and speaking of which, he is contemplating, he's going backwards and forwards. Now he's going to go back up to top lane, but he does eventually need to come down and take out Invoker, because Invoker, he will be working towards the mechanism, I believe, so they're going to be going for an early mechanism and potentially start pushing a little bit earlier. Generally you see Invokers pick up an early minus, and at the rate this Invoker was going, I'm a little bit surprised, but it's never the wrong choice to go for an early mechanism, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Early mechanism is nice. Yeah, other choices are for Invoker, Yules, 4-star, stuff like that. But Anachromatic tries to actually kill the Observer Ward with an illusion, but his sentry expired just a bit too early. 22 health is what it survives on. A little bit unlucky there. But currently, I gotta say, DA are doing well to move around to get these early kills. And once again, we see the rotation from these supports. So they don't have a smoke this time, but looks like they might want to go anyway, or maybe they're even just heading into top.
At the same time, Faker, he keeps trying to come on down. He was going to go through the jungle, he decided not to, decided to go again, not to, sat at Rune, and now we might finally see him come in, but it might be a little bit too late. He waited a while, and now these supports, as you did point out, if they spot Faker before Faker spots them, well, that's going to completely ruin the aggression that they want to put on. But if he does initiate, I don't think they'll have enough damage to kill out of control, not with these two supports just looming on the edge.
Yeah, I gotta say, Faker was standing on those steps for a long time. That doesn't give you vision. In fact, they're gonna spot him out now.
Nope.
I think? No?
Nighttime vision, still
Nighttime
just
vision?
a little bit too small.
Yeah, but he really should have been standing on the top of that ledge the entire time, just because standing at the bottom gives you no vision up there at all. So these guys could have basically been right in his face and he would not have known.
What are your personal thoughts on Dazzle leveling up here fully and not getting any points in Poison Touch? Do you think it's worthy to go 1-1-1 at the start just for that little additional slow? I mean, it's a 10-second slow, I believe. Or is it just a damage? Slow. Oh. Yeah, it's slow just over time. Do you think it's worth going 1-1-1?
Yeah, that slows over time.
Or do you think it is better to get that extra heal? Because, I mean, your Luna has been killed once.
See, the thing is, if they were going to go really aggressive, put on the aggression on, I can understand leveling up the Poison Touch, but Hurtsville haven't done that at all. This Train Protector, he hasn't put any sort of aggression, hasn't thrown out those leech
Oh, in
seeds
mid
at
lane
all.
we have a hookshot coming
Luna
straight
as
on
well.
in onto out of control. He's not in trouble. He's got a forge spirit doing a lot of damage. He throws down the sunstrike. Will be enough. He does kill off the clockwork, but he does fall as well, going to Aquino. Now Sydney is chasing down Aquino with the help of the forge spirit, and the forge spirit, it does a lot of damage. It's already started to rack up the negative armor. The stacks have dropped, and Aquino will back off to tower. There will be a pause coming out, but that was a very long time that clockwork has sat on that ramp. I mean, he's been there for the last 2.5 minutes of doing nothing. He is now level 6. You have a look at his partner in crime on the opposite team, Exodus. He's level 8. He's got boots and everything.
Yeah, it's he spent too much time there, and in the end, he wasn't able to get the kill before he died, or they weren't able to get the kill before he died, I should say. So out of control on that invoker. I mean, sure he died and it does suck, but he's still got a lot of that extra gold and experience. So he's sitting on level 8. We do have, of course, Viper on level 8 as well. But yeah, he's not going to be too fast with that result, especially since your Visage got a little bit of experience there as well.
Man, I'm really liking this Trent Protector at the moment. He's in the jungle. He's just picked up a 4th stack in that camp. That's a very delicious stack going to be going towards the Luna soon. And she'll probably look to pick up an early, I believe it's not Mask of Madness, it is Helm of the Dominator, that's the one I'm looking for. Pick up an early Helm of the Dominator, get a creep, and throw your living armor onto that creep, and then you can easily tank up that camp and be able to pick that off, and that's gonna help her get back into this game, because at the moment, she is doing better last hits than Gyrocopter. Even though she did die, she is about 11 last hits ahead, and that's really well for being behind at the start of the game.
That is very true. At the same time, picking up that early Helm of Dominator does mean she's a lot more fragile. And the the lineup from Defenstrative Apocolypse, they're going to be dealing a ton of damage, in this early to mid game. So she still needs that BKB. It's very core on her. But I do agree that Helm of Dominator will certainly help her catch up, or well, keep up with the farm, or maybe even pull ahead, just because you'll be stacking, you'll be pulling. You'll be stacking up the camps for the bounces.
Man, wow, I can't give enough props to this Trent Protector. He goes to each camp, he keeps stacking it. He's got 5 on one camp, he's got 2 on the pool camp. He'll probably go to Alpha Wolf soon and start getting them some stacks, and this Luna's going to have one very happy time when she decides to come and take them out. And at the top lane, Timbersaw, he's still working on his farm. He's 52. He's over 20, he's almost 20 creep kills ahead of Faker, and that just tells you how long Faker stood in that mid lane doing absolutely nothing. And I'm a little surprised though, DA, they haven't been putting too much aggression down the bottom lane. But then again, their supports have been rotating out quite often.
It's a bit tough as well when you've got a Train Protector and a Dazzle. They deal a ton of damage. Now, just gotta speak about Luna's build for a second. Max Moonglade first and Luna Blessing level 3. No points in Lucent Beam or Eclipse at level 7. That is very unusual.
That's a little bit scary. They want to, by the sounds of it, they want to go very pushing. I mean, but they can't really push against this lineup because they have such great counter initiation. I mean, you've got a Rubik Lift, you have Familius once Visage hits at level 6, which is only a few creeps off. And then you got your Gyrocopter, who's got a cooldown, he's got his flat cannon, and if needed, he's got that Rocket Barrage, which burns through the stacks of Treant Protector's living armor easily. So you have Rubik, he is invisible, he's going to be scatting out a little bit. He doesn't want to go too far just in case they do have a sentry and they're trying to find anything down on the ground. But that is not the case, and wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a little bit of initiation come out very shortly.
Yeah, we actually saw the Grave Shield go out there, but no real follow-up. I'm gonna say in top lane, these offlaners are just farming away. In fact, we do have Exodius. He's picked up his mana boost, he's picked up his point booster, so he's gonna have a very early.
Oh, and we're gonna lift up on Enjoy down in bottom lane. Fadebot comes out, they have the Grave Shield, the Soul Assumption, and the Sunstrike will pick off the Luna.
That was a very nice Sunstrike. I mean, positioned it perfectly, basically. Out of control, really knows how to place them. But that's another excellent pick there for them. Killing that Luna off very early, and especially since she had a lot. Actually, no, they've actually evened up on in terms of last hits. So this Gyrocopter are doing well to actually catch up in that regard.
And with that kill, it made Luna just that much further away from her Helm of the Dominator, which she desperately needed. I mean, she was at 900 and then got set back 300 gold from that death. And other supports, they are not stopping, and this is what's fantastic. If you can consistently have these supports rotate and finding things on the map, then they're doing their job beyond godlike. And they're already in mid lane, they're waiting for a chemo to get a little bit aggressive, and here we go, Cold Snap comes out, the Forge Spirits are coming, we have the Familiars taking a little bit of damage, one stun will come down, the lift up, and the easy kill coming out on the side of DA. We do have a little bit of reactionary TP, but Faker's not going to be able to find much here.
Yeah, if he hook shots in, doesn't matter who it is, there's 3 heroes here, basically mean he's deaf. And in the meanwhile, Xerxes is just going to continue farming up in his top lane. He has 71 last hits on a Timbersaw at 12 minutes in. That is insane.
Insane indeed. I mean, they don't even need him, and that's what's fantastic. If your Timbersaw doesn't need to rotate because your other lanes are doing so well, you're not going to be able to stop a Timbersaw later on in this game when he's got his Bloodstone at 15, 16 minutes. He's going to be racking up those charges at the start of the game when you can't kill him, and then he's just going to spiral out of control in terms of tankiness and the amount of damage and XP he's gaining, which in turn returns the levels and the absolute pure damage barrage you can pull out of his spells.
Yeah, it also helps when you've got Timbersaw up against the Treant Protector, just because of the living armor. You know, a lot of his, particularly his chakram, can really bring that down very quickly. This whole lineup sort of from DA has that potential. I gotta say, this Gyrocopter, he's going for his. In fact, he just finished his Helm of Dominator, so he'll be doing some stack. In fact, there already is some stacking going on here for the Ancients, so they'll be certainly happy with that. And I think DA have a little bit of an idea that the stacking has happened in the jungle. So they're gonna keep. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just place down a ward and keep an eye on it, because I can see this creep camp here with the Alpha Wolves and whatnot, and so I believe they have an idea of what Treant Protector's been up to.
I mean, I absolutely love what Treant Protector's doing, but do you think it's worth it for only being level 3?
Yeah, see, the thing is, he's gonna, in those team fights, he's not gonna be doing very much. You know, something like his Overgrowth can actually be very powerful. And certainly those extra levels in Leech Seed or Living Armor helps a great deal amount to survive. I feel like I sort of have to agree that unless Luna can, in fact, there goes on a stack. If Luna can kill off these stacks very quickly and help her get those items up, sure, but if she's just gonna keep on dying, then it's certainly not worth it.
And we have a lot of damage coming out onto the 2 heroes down at bottom lane, and well, there wasn't much to say about that. Rocket Barrage, one whirling death, and well, that was the end of those 2 heroes.
Yeah, see, like, it's sort of exactly as I was saying there, you know, this Treant Protector is doing a great job of stacking, but if Luna's just going to be dying, it doesn't matter how much gold you have, you're going to lose it all.
And here we go, they're coming in and they're going to steal all that farm the Treant Protector sacrificed levels for. And he's going to walk past with an invis and he's going to see it and he's going to be sorely disappointed. And at the same time, they walk down, they pick off a Dazzle. They saw those 3 heroes walk past from both A, the ward, and B, the Treant Protector. Why did the Dazzle walk into those 3 heroes there? I'm not too sure. And now we got reactionary TPs going top. We got a Sunstrike coming down to Faker. Faker might have to run here, but it's not going to be the case.
Yeah, they're just basically defending the tower there. In the meanwhile, mid, looks like that tier 1 tower will fall. I don't see... Yeah, there's not going to be any TPs. I'm not going to go for that either. And first tier 1 tower falls to the game, and it goes to Defenstrative Apocolypse. That is a very big deal. Illmatic does ping out this creep stack here in the jungle, so Luna should be going for it very soon.
And there...
15-minute Bloodstone on Timbersaw.
Yeah, that is sickening. I mean, he's net worth 6.4k. He's at the top of the leaderboards. He's coming mid. He's not too afraid. I mean, but the warding by DA, once again, it's absolutely phenomenal. You have your general wards watching the rune. Then you have an aggressive ward in mid, making sure they see any rotations coming out from Hurtsville if they want to bring their supports in, which at the moment, unfortunately, those supports can't do too much. And... here we go, Luna. Can she get a lot of farm from this creep camp? She's doing well. She's getting healed from that Dazzle. And at least she's getting the gold. She's going to pick up about 800 gold from this quad stack. And, well, she's going to be quite happy about that to try and get back in this game. But it might be a little bit too... not enough at this stage of the game.
I'll cut and then I'll cut again.
Yeah, see, if she had died, you know, not so much in the earlier phases of the game, certainly that would have been amazing.
Oh, got a little bit of initiation here.
Again here.
Achromatic, he's got that negative armor on him. We got the leech seed doing that still. Can the auto attacks coming from the Luna pick him off? And now the Forge Spirits are going to start racking up. And we do see the death of that Rune. But it goes to the Tomb Protector. Not the hero you want to pick it up with, but you're still going to take it. The Sunstrike will miss. A little bit of preemptive there. Not going to be the case. And Faker, he's going to throw the hookshot in. But nice blocking from the Familius. Still, unfortunately, keeps him in place. And now the Familius coming down. Faker's in a lot of trouble. He's got the Shadow Glaive. He needs to try and run. But the Invoker's Ice Wall is holding him into place. Can the Familius chase him down? They will chase him down. He'll fall. The Tomb Protector's down. Now Enjoy is going down very shortly. There's no Shallow Grave up and running. The auto attacks will pick him off. And the Timbersaw is in. He wants some more blood. And this should be 4 kills going the way of DA.
Yeah, what an amazing turnaround there. They only lost the Rubik and got 4 for it. I mean, you know, we just spoke a little bit about how Luna had to ensure she doesn't die after picking up that stack, and once again she falls. And basically, when you're doing that, that stack is essentially pointless. And they're going to pick up a tier 1 tower from this as well, so Defenstrative Apocolypse is a great start for them, and they're just going to continue essentially snowballing from here. I mean, Timbersaw alone, how are you going to stop him, let alone any of the other heroes?
Yeah, and he just picked up 2 extra charges to that Bloodstone. It's just going to keep going up and up. I mean, he is not the highest level in the game, but level 11, being in the off lane, and now he's starting to roam around. That is a little bit scary. You have your Gyrocopter level 11, who's the same level as that Viper, who was in mid lane. And then Invoker is 2 levels higher, all the way ahead. And now they've got all tier 1 towers down on the side of Hurtsville. And DA, they now have all this map precision that, well, they don't know what to do with because they have too much.
Yeah, we see some more stacking going on. This is Gyrocopter's going to love this ancient stack, which he'll probably pick up relatively soon. Once again, on that tier 1 tower fall is in top, you know, about a minute ago, and actually a Necromonicon picked up by Invoker, so it looks like they really were just going to go heavy pushing, which in my opinion is a very smart idea.
I mean, why not? You've got your first tier 1 towers down. Necromonicon's going to do a lot to these heroes. I mean, Luna, she went for this Moonglade's bounce and the aura. She didn't pick up any Lucent Beams. She didn't pick up an Eclipse, a point in the Eclipse. And actually, she's going to be found out in the jungle. And Chromatic is going to lift up, but unfortunately, those Forge Spirits came down. But the Visage Familius, he's here. He's on time. There's going to come down for 1 stun. 2nd stun into the Ice Wall. Enjoy's got nowhere to go. He will fall. Dazzle tried to help with what he can at such a range. It's not going to be as useful as he had hoped.
Yeah, and this isn't looking too good for Hurtsville Hood Rats. I mean, they're not finding the pickoffs around the map. Their Luna is unable to find any farm, not even in the jungle anymore. You know, there's no tier 1 towers, so in fact, we have Defenstrative Apocolypse just going for rush. And once they have this, they can just go for all the tier 2 towers they want.
I think, yeah, the Luna's build, now that we're 20 minutes into the game, shows it has not paid off so much. I mean, if you picked up that burst, that fight down in bottom lane that they had, she would have had all her she would have had all the Lucent Beams she wanted. She would have had her Eclipse hit every single hero at least 3 times, possibly 4 if she got extremely lucky, and that would have been a lot of burst to take down possibly the Rubik or Visage, so they could have got a turnaround kill, and maybe not as lost as much as they did, but pick up an auto attack route, going for a little bit of lifesteal and going into the jungle to try and farm up. DA, they've realized this, they've noticed she hasn't thrown out a single Lucent Beam, she hasn't thrown out an Eclipse, they know there must be stacks going on, they've walked in, they've taken the stacks, they've walked out, and now they're pushing tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and Gyrocopter is going to be getting the ancient stack. Doesn't matter if you've got the jungle stacked up, those ancients are way more gold. In fact, we might have a bit of engagement here. Nope, Exodus just backs off.
He's not
Very
afraid.
aggressive, and there's the Dazzle ulti as well.
It's a counter Dazzle ulti, and then the real Dazzle ulti comes on out, so everyone's got armor and negative armor. Shadow Ghost comes out, should keep Dazzle alive a little bit longer, but that doesn't help the Treant. Treant will fall. Faker is on the run, he should be able to get out of there without too much issue. We have Timbersaw come flying on through, he's now going to be doing a lot of damage, and Faker, he's going to fall to the Soul Assumption, but Exodus will be able to get out of there. Will he deny himself? Nope, he doesn't need to. He'll walk on out as Out of Control takes the auto attacks from that tower. And that's 3 kills down by DA with not much effort at all, is probably the easiest way to put it. Now they're pushing that tier 3. What can Hurtsville do to stop it?
They really can't do anything. They don't have the team fight. They've already popped the Dazzle ulti. Luna's got no ulti. This tier 3 is going to fall, and probably the Rax as well. In fact, Invoker did pop his Necromonicon there. In fact, there are creeps. There we go. And this is going to be a melee Rax. From here on out, I think the A is just going to end up taking this game number 1.
I think Hurtsville, they might just try and play this out a little bit longer, because in that case, you can talk to your teammates, you can decide what you want to do for game number 2. We will see we're going to get easily picked off. But you might see them play it out a little bit longer than what you expect, because it is a best of 3. You do move on to the round of 8. And so you need to talk about it a little bit. You need to see how DA played, what you did wrong, what they did right, and then, you know, come back in, choose a little bit of different strategy, and work towards it. Maybe find and exploit a weakness you saw DA play, or maybe go for something you might be a little bit more familiar with. And the GGs do come out, and DA will be taking game number 1.
Yeah, quite comfortably too. I mean, they executed their lineup perfectly. I gotta say, besides the Luna's strange skill choice, Hurtsville, they just didn't really have a lot of movement. You know, the Clockwork tried to rotate a little bit, but it took too long to have any opportunity to gank. And Defenstrative Apocolypse, they just really punished that. It has been game 1 in a best of 3 here between Defenstrative Apocolypse and Hurtsville Hoodrats. This is Defense of the Australian Summer 2014. We'll be back very shortly with game number 2. I've been Zeller, and I've been joined by Dota Yoshi. See you guys in just a moment.